I did receive a text message not long ago that said along the lines of, sorry to hear Jamie didn't get elected, and clearly he hasn't, and how do you feel about that? And the first thing I want to say was, to me, it was never about the votes or Jamie getting elected. It was about simply changing a nation and making a difference. And can everyone stand up and thank him, because he has really done that. A massive thank you to the volunteers today. There's a lot that obviously couldn't be here because they were out at Corindi or Barraba or Walker, somewhere where they didn't want to travel here after they'd been in a booth all day. The volunteers were amazing today. I was really overwhelmed. How we did it, we split it up into 3 sections. So there was Tamworth, Armidale, Glen Innes. Alan managed the Armidale people, I managed Glen Innes, and Nairi managed Tamworth, and with that there was like a whole district. So right, like I said, right out, I went to Tenterfield today. We did a lot of kilometres to top up flyers, etc. Like I said, they were just absolutely amazing. The Glen Innes Public School, a massive hats off to you guys. In Tamworth, I mean, Barnaby Joyce, I've had the pleasure of getting to know him and become good friends with his campaign manager, which both Jamie and Barnaby thought was really funny, that we went and had coffee together, and it's quite a funny thing. But I did see the database and the membership that Barnaby Joyce had was massive, and there was no way I could compete with that. And I'll never forget the conversation that his campaign manager and I had, and she said, "How many volunteers have you got for polling day?" And I went, about 100. And she goes, "Oh, I've nearly got about 500. And I went, "Okay." And today I was up at the primary school, and I'll tell you now that our volunteers up there were so much more energetic, and the atmosphere was amazing, and there was one Barnaby Joyce supporter sitting there, and I could just tell the look on his face, and we had it covered. So to the guys up there, big thank you. It was so good. I'm not going to be here speaking for too long, but I just want to say a big thing about Jamie. We are very good friends, and as well as me working for him doing this, we are very good friends. And people say, "Oh, how did this come about? How did you get involved in politics?" I mean, I used to be a hairdresser, and I didn't do my year 12, and it's a funny story. And the biggest thing I can say is I was in Ballina one day, there was a magazine in the stand, and there was Jamie McIntyre's head on it. And I thought, okay, if he's made something of himself, then I can make something of myself. And he has been a massive inspiration to me. And the reason why I left the Gold Coast, and I mean, I've still got my place up there and I'm back here, is because I believed in everything that he says and everything that he does and everything he wants to make this world. And that's why I'm here. And I just want to say that thank you to Jamie for your constant inspiration, and for my success in life. You've had a lot to do with that, and that's very special to me, so thank you. Just a couple of individual thank yous. Gail and Neville. Even the other night at the Business Awards, my friends that were here, aren't they cute? Look at them, they're so in love. And here I was this morning. We got up at 6 o'clock, and I got up to the Glen Innes School, and here is Neville standing there with a pile of these how to vote cards and an A-frame that he made that was absolutely hideously made, but just, it was there, and he was so proud, and that's what it's all about. So Gail and Neville, you're amazing people. Where's Simon? Is he still, Simon? I met Simon, and all I can say about this man is that it taught me about what mentorship was really about, and to have someone to give you positive feedback as well as negative feedback. And the best thing you can ever get in life is negative feedback, because you learn from it. And what Simon taught me was how to add value to the people around you and where you want to go in life. And he taught me that so I could control Jamie to add value to the voters of the New England. Fabe, I actually met Fabe here. I was lost getting out to McIntyre's farm for Jamie's 40th, and then we had a seminar together, Jamie and I, and Fabe said to me not long after that, "You're going to go a long way in life and I can see you working alongside us." And it wasn't long after that that she rang up and said, "Oh, I'm so excited, you're our campaign manager." And Fabe's constant positivity, and I will say that yes, Jamie can be very difficult, and she's the one that we go to so we can get some kind of yes. Thank you. Joel's amazing. One thing he's taught me is how to be organised and how important it is to be organised. And one thing he also taught me was the McIntyre language. And when I say the McIntyre language, it is simply this, that, okay, Jamie said this, he wants that. We need to do this now. So I learnt that a lot about events, etc. Grace and I, we come into this the very first day on the Gold Coast that I took this on, and it's been a massive trip since then. I posted something on Facebook and a lot of people have seen our life and have been watching, living in motel rooms together, late night walks through the cities, etc. and lots of fights too. We are two people that have had very good buddies. Sophie, thank you for your support and everything that you've done as well. I've known Sophie for a long time, and she actually come to help out at the office launch, and then it turned out that the party progressed and she became my assistant, and I just want to say thank you for everything, and you've been great. Ben Lonigan, give him a round of applause, everyone, please. One thing, like, I'm a big believer that you learn something from everyone you meet. And Ben and I are very similar but very different in the fact that I'll be out in the street talking to people all day, and I'll go into businesses and I'll be in there for an hour. I'll be back in a minute and I'll be gone for 3 hours. And then I have to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning to get my work done. But Ben is someone, has anyone ever heard of the saying, to be successful, you need to bring value to the time? Ben works 9 to 5, not much more. And it's not understandable to an entrepreneurial person or business where you bust your butt, I've got a network, I've got to do this and I've got to do that. And at first I was a bit nervous about this. I thought, oh Jesus, what's Jamie going to think of this? Anyway, how impressive is it that this fellow here can get out that many press releases in the time? 5 o'clock comes, laptop gets closed. But the other day, here we are in Tamworth. Jamie, Grace and I are standing there. Barnaby Joyce pulls out of the debate. Oh, Ben's onto it. It's after 5 o'clock. So, definitely the saying about, you do your work in your time. You don't have to work long hours to be successful, but sometimes you do. Alan, he's the one who we ring each other and go, Jesus. Today, I'll put a big thank you out there. I had it all planned. I wrote the itinerary for today for Jamie. This is where you'll go from Tamworth to here. So, Grace, Jamie, Joel, Alan, Nairi and I. All right, he'll be there in 5 minutes. All right, booth captains, I'll message you when he's about to be there. Make sure you're not sitting down. Make sure this and that. And you know what? It didn't even matter because everyone was on their game 100%. And how many times, Alan, I rung you today? Grace rung me. Where's the volunteers at Drummond because they're not here? Hang on a minute. Alan, what's going on? Dude, they've gone to the wrong entrance. Okay, it's all right. So, Alan, you've been unreal, great support. AgQuip, Alan was responsible for AgQuip. It was a great event. Nairi, who isn't here, I wish you all knew her. She is an absolute blast, breath of fresh air. We'll be in the Tamworth office, and I do not joke. Someone will just walk past, an innocent person. She will run out the door and chase them and give them a how to vote card or something. And she's, like Jamie said, if there were more people like Nairi, the world would be a better place, and it's so true. Shifo, you've been absolute. This fellow here works at Westpac. We had our first tour. He would come Gleniness to Armidale, back to Tamworth, everywhere. He's been a great support. Today, done 400 something kilometres with us, so thank you so much. Limo, I don't know where Limo's gone. I rocked up at the Glencoe polling booth today and it was just an absolute laugh. Absolute laugh. And that's what it's all about, is inspiration, fresh people standing there, and every time a car pulled up it was these two going, it's your turn, get up there, give them the spin, and it was just great. Jake Every, young fellow who's come to our Meet the Candidates night, has been a good support as well. I'd like to thank the Melbourne office, Jackie, Critica, etc., that Jamie mentioned. Okay, to sum it up, there's 4 things that I've learnt of Jamie McIntyre. I'm not going to write a book about it, don't worry. The first thing I've learned is to get thick skin. Famous words is, I don't have time for insensitive people. Sensitive. Insensitive? Thank you. Right, I have been made to cry twice of him. Tonight, I nearly cried when I did start hearing about the results. I don't care what anyone says. Like I said to Jamie the other day, I wouldn't be standing here at the pre-polling booth if I didn't still think you could win. Not long ago, he said to me, can you ring Barnaby, Joyce and Claire and congratulate them? 5 minutes later, I said, I'm not ringing them yet because it's not over yet. But anyhow, that's the first thing I learnt. The second thing I learnt was to never say I can't. One time he asked me, he wanted something, and I said, well, I can't get this because of that. He said, I don't want to hear that. Get it. Sophie will back me up because not long ago I asked her to get a phone number for me. She said, I can't find it. I said, find it. There's no such thing as you cannot find it. You've just got to find it. And that is one thing that has actually improved me in a person and something that I have learned. The next thing I have learned is really cool. And this is why we're all here, right? I'm a 27-year-old person. Not many people my age are involved in politics or really give a shit, to be honest. I had a friend the other day who I ran into up the street, and she said, so who do I vote for again? And of course, she was my friend, so she was going to vote for Jamie because I work for Jamie, blah, blah, blah. I said, Jamie McIntyre, that's right. It's very sad how many people actually don't care about politics, but they're the first person to complain about their job or something they're not happy with in life. So that's the third thing I've learned, is to stand up for something and actually not be scared to say it. Everything that happened with the AEC, there's been many things that these press releases, Jamie sends, Ben, I get CC'd in on, and I go, oh my God. But I've learnt that Jamie goes, no, this is bullshit. You've got to say this, don't be scared. Don't be scared of the media, you've got to do it. So I learnt not to be scared. The fourth thing I've learnt, guys, is why I am standing here. And this is a really cool realisation to happen, and I hope that you all take this fourth thing away with you tonight. There's been a few times where I thought, why have I done this? I left my life on the Gold Coast, I've got businesses going well, and I've done this, and I go, oh my gosh, this is stressful, I'm freaking out. But then I turn around and I look at people like Grace, Nairi, Jamie, Gail and Neville, Ben, all of you in here. It's like fate. The fourth thing is fate. That, you know what? I couldn't imagine my life without what's happened, without the people I've met, without where I'm standing right now and what's going to happen from here. The future is so exciting. That's called fate. So don't ever regret anything. Don't question anything. Always think about, oh yeah, I couldn't imagine my life without that person, or imagine if I went down that track. So that's the last thing I met. And to leave you on this note, I've put together a little bit of a slideshow. It was very quick. I've clearly had other things to worry about, so it's not amazing. There's no like spinny pictures and stuff, but I put together some images and pictures of our journey from the start, and I'd just like to say before it plays, a massive thank you to Jamie, who I do consider a very good friend, and we will stay friends and partners through making this country a better place. I probably will be the health minister one day, I'll just put it out there. And all of you guys that are in here, it's an absolute credit that you obviously are inspirational people, entrepreneurial, and want to go places, and that's amazing in itself. So have a watch. Before that, a big round of applause for Jamie McIntyre.